Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of Whose is Meta. So for today's episode, we're going to go through the Kilo. In my previous episode, I went through the M13, so if you're interested in that, do go and check it out on my channel. So let's get right to it. So let me show you what attachments they use on their Kilos. First up, we have Korean Savage's loadout, the monolithic suppressor, the longest barrel, attack laser, commando foregrip, and a 50 round mag. So for NickMercs, he has the monolithic suppressor, longest barrel, but he has an optic and the commando foregrip and a 60 round mag instead. Last but not least, we have Swagg's loadout, which is the monolithic suppressor, longest barrel, a VLK 3.0 optic, a commando foregrip, and a 60 round mag. So let me give you my thoughts on the Korean Savage's loadout. So actually I do not really have enough gameplay for this because to me it's so difficult to use because of the fact that there is no sights. I do need sights, okay? I think a lot of us actually need sights. We don't really have the good eyesight to see the enemies, and sometimes the enemies are also like in dark corners, and if you have to look through an iron sight, which is a circular one, then it's gonna be hard, right? So if we preview the weapon, you see these are the iron sights. If you can see over here, it's the circular one. So it's rather difficult to actually look through the iron sights itself. Very oddly enough, he uses the 50 round mag. And the video that I saw him use this is actually during solos. So I feel that if you are going for a solos adventure, it doesn't really take much bullets to down somebody because you're playing against solos. But if you're talking about like the duos, especially, I think duos were still pushing it, still might be manageable, but we're a bit pushing it. Definitely not for trios as well as quad games, because there will be so much more fights happening, so much fast-paced actions happening, and I don't think a 50 round mag will cut it. I don't really have any gameplay to show you because every single game that I've tried to use this loadout, right, I can't do it. I just can't. I'm like a potato aimer. I can't see at all. So far, the cleanest iron sights is still the ground. Nothing actually beats the ground's iron sights. Let's move on to the next one. For NickMercs loadout, it's still very manageable. I think this is something that I'm pretty comfortable with because I am also a sniper player. So usually I would actually pair this loadout with my sniper. And on my hollow side, I'm actually using the blue dot. Please, if you have not grinded for it, please go and do it because it's so clean, it's so nice to use. And yeah, he uses the commando foregrip and a 60 round mag. So let me just show you some clips of it. This clip right here, right, you will see that I'm hiding in the house, down somebody with my sniper, because this is why I pair that Kilo with it. I get rid of that guy, and then what I hear is they'll be coming after me, right? Because gas is pushing, they'll be coming after me, and then I hear that there's somebody below coming up. So that's why I just wait there. In terms of the hit fire, it's also very fast. So down that guy, we move off, and so my teammate gets down, right? There's actually like I think 2 on him. So I saw that guy coming up towards me, dealt some headshots, and I actually downed him with this particular blue dot itself. And why it's so important to pair this with the sniper is so that you can take those longer range shots. And even at that range, right, that was quite powerful. Managed to break that guy's armor. But you know, when you pair it with a sniper, this is why you can take shots like this. You know, I broke the guy's armor and then I downed the guy, right? Blue dot is very versatile in terms of the situations where we can use it. And that's why it's also, because it can't take those super long range shots, it is very useful for the close and middle range right here. But unfortunately, we can't take those long range shots like this. So that's why I needed to whip up my sniper, and then we had a team wipe there. We were fighting enemies from all fronts, and that's why you need something as versatile as the blue dot and this Kilo right here. So there's a team coming up, right? And using this loadout itself, I was able to take out at least 2 of them. And over here we find another guy. He pops up, get the down, and we have another team wipe. Right now we realize that there's actually 2 more teams left, and we know there's one there, and then I found another on the other end of the map. So we took out the other team there. I actually shot until I did not have ammo, so that's why I popped my ammo box. And then that was our last team, right? We have one more team right here. Managed to down him. The other guy came out from the small shack right there, but I died, but my teammate managed to, of course, kill him, right? Because it's a 2v1 and we managed to get the dub. Finally, we are moving on to Swagg's loadout, right? So everything's the same except that he uses a longer scope, the VLK 3.0 optic. That's why, because he uses a longer scope, we are able to take the middle to longer range shot with this. I'm pairing it with the R9. So let me show you some gameplay video. In this game itself, I actually won the game. It was a 14 bomb game. I'm very proud of myself right there. So right now I'm chasing some guy, right? He's actually going into the house. I decided not to fire first because I know he's just going to be hiding in the house and I won't have a clear shot at him. But you see, I can take those longer range shots and, you know, easily we could get him, right? I picked up a bounty, right? And I'm chasing the bounty. The bounty is actually coming towards me because the gas is pushing him towards me. And that's why I waited behind cover, because I knew I had the UAV. He's going to pop up. I knew he was going to pop up behind the trains. Saw him right there. And then I got the kill, right? So these are the ranges that you can use the VLK scope in. In this scenario, what happened was that my bounty actually died. It was killed by somebody in bank. And then so I knew there was actually, I called the UAV and I knew there was 3 people there. So one guy chooses to come out from bank, saw his head, and even in that close range, it's easy to actually track the enemy. And I also knew that there was somebody in the house as well. So that's why I took the cash and I ran up. And because in a place like this, right, you need to whip out your shotgun because it's very close range. It's very super effective close range. So that's why I took out my shotgun and I decided to scan the buildings and move up. The gas was pushing me, right? So I knew that I would have to move sometime soon. A guy came back from the gulag. I beamed him through the truck. Pretty easy to do that. And then the last guy, right? The last guy was there. He put some shots at me, so I knew where he was. Then I found him behind the bush, and then easily I took him down. This scenario now, I'm caught in downtown, right? A lot of people like to camp on the roofs of downtown. And I knew that there was somebody inside on the roof here. I scanned the building slowly, and then after that, on my heartbeat, I realizes he's there and he's on the other side of the roof. So that's why I took out my kilo. So I got the opening shots at him, broke his armor, and then decided to climb up. And in such a close range, because I knew he was going to climb up as well, all I needed to do was use the shotgun and he was dead right there. It was so easy. So that's why with this loadout, right, you need to pair it with the shotgun. It's something that will allow you to rush into buildings and rush into situations very safely. I made it to the other side of downtown now. And then I'm trying to go in even more, and it's, by the way, just so you know, it's almost final circle. So I realized that there was somebody up there on the orange building, and I could not get a clear shot at him. So instead of fighting, having an ego fight him, what I decided to do was retreat back into the patrol station, where there's more cover, more room for me to move, and then so from there I tried to see where he was. He wasn't there. And what happened was he jumped down. He actually jumped down, but I didn't even see him. So he came down. I was almost down. What I did was I hit at that corner right there. I whipped out my shotgun instead. And he just wanted to fight me, right? I knew he was coming on the right, and all I needed to do was 2 shots. 2 shots, as easy as that, and I managed to kill him. If you are interested to find out how this game actually played out, how I managed to win the game, I'm gonna put the link to one of the clips that I cut from my Twitch feed, and I'll paste it down in the description below for you to have a look. There you have it. Those are my thoughts, and you've seen gameplay footages on how all these different guns, except Korean Savages, as what I mentioned, I could not really get very good footages because I really just can't use the gun at all. It's so difficult because I can't see through the iron sights. So hopefully, maybe it might suit one of you, right? But one thing I would change in the Korean Savages loadout is actually the mag rounds. So instead of using 50 rounds, maybe if you're playing solos, maybe you can use 50. But if you're going anything more than that, duos, trios, quads, definitely change that up to the 60 round mag. And that is something that I won't recommend for somebody like, if you're like me who can't see through iron sights. I don't really like it, and I think you might not like it as well. So don't use that. Then we're going to talk about the other two loadouts, which is actually NickMercs as well as Swagg's loadout. So both of them pretty comfortable to use them. You know, definitely match NickMercs loadout with a sniper or a marksman rifle so that you can take on those longer shots. And then with Swagg's loadout, use a shotgun or an SMG together with it so that you can take on the closer range. It's more for pushing, it's more for rushing. So if you found this video useful and you've actually tried out these loadouts, I would love to hear your feedback and your opinions as well. So don't forget to leave them down in the comments below. And you know, if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and like. And you can find me on Twitch as well as Facebook. So I'm going to leave them down, all my Twitch links and Facebook links down in the description below. And if you're looking for people to play with, you know, some people still play solos and you don't like to play randoms, feel free to join my Discord. I'm going to link them down below as well. So we'll see you there. Bye bye.